was once a town in Yorkshire that stood by the side of a river. The river was not easy to cross. It could be swum and it could be forded, but when the floods came, neither of those things were possible, and therefore the townspeople tried to build a bridge over the river, and they tried, but every time they did, the bridge was swept away. So they made do as best they could, until one day, the devil came to town. The devil took one look at the situation, and he said to the townspeople, "Now listen, I will build you a bridge across this river, no problem." The townspeople knew they were talking to the devil. They could tell. And they knew it wasn't a good idea to make a deal with the devil, but they really needed that bridge, and they thought they may as well listen for a bit. So they said, "Well, what would you ask in return?" "Ah," said the devil, "I will build you a beautiful bridge that will last forever. But in return, I would need from you the soul of the first living thing to cross that bridge." The townspeople talked about it, and they argued about it, and finally they agreed to the devil's terms. And the devil built the bridge, and it was a beautiful bridge, and it was very sturdy. It was clearly not going to be swept away by the water. And the townspeople began to regret the deal they had made. They had a bridge now. They could not use it because no one would agree to be the first person across it, which was understandable. And again, they argued about this, and it was like, "Martha, you're being so selfish." And it went on and on until finally one of them, who was a shepherd and a little bit brighter than his neighbors, said, "I know how to deal with this, and it's really not as hard as you're making it out to be." So the shepherd went to the river with his dog, and he swam across the river. And then from the other side of the river, he stood at the end of the bridge, and he called his dog, whose name was Grim. And the dog ran across the bridge, becoming the first living thing to cross it. So the devil got himself the soul of a dog, and the townspeople were happy that they did not have to pay with their own souls. And in honor of the dog that had saved them all, though it hadn't meant to, they named the bridge after it. They called it Kilgrim Bridge.